Trekkers. Welcome to this amazing Star Trek podcast on Cherrak Tuesday. I'm your host Orinda, and together with Amanda Hopper, I recap every 2 weeks an episode of Star Trek TNG. All the episodes will be recapping chronically following. We'll approach each episode with humor and a feminine look. Today we recap the episode Samaritan Snare. Captain Picard refused to have a medical operation on his artificial heart on board the Enterprise by Dr. Catherine Pulaski, as he is concerned about his image with the crew. He instead heads to a nearby starbase for the operation, traveling by shuttlecraft. Acting Ensign Wesley Crusher accompanies him, and he is due to undergo his Starfleet Academy entrance exam. Though initially rebuffing Wesley's attempt to make conversation, Picard eventually softens and talks of his past, including why he needs an artificial heart. Meanwhile, the Enterprise encountered the Mondar, a paklets ship. The aliens request help to fix their vessel. Based on the paklets' rudimentary communication skills and apparent lack of understanding of the basic operations of their ship, Commander William Riker judged them to be inept and harmless, and agrees to send Chief Engineer Georgi to assist them. After boarding the packlet ship, LaForge repairs the navigational system. When main power fails on the Enterprise, Counselor Troy, an empath, warns Riker that LaForge is in danger, but Riker dismisses her concerns. Upon finally completing the repairs, LaForge prepares to leave, but a packlet incapacitates him with his own phaser and raises the ship's shields. Lieutenant Commander Data determines that the paklets have acquired advanced technology from other races, and the ship malfunctions were a ruse. Riker demands they return the force, but paklets refuse and stun him again with his phaser. Riker and Lieutenant Worf develop a ruse of their own, which they communicate to LaForge in code. At the starbase, complications arise during Picard's transplant, and the doctors realize that unless they can locate an expert with the necessary expertise, he will die. As Riker set up the ruse, Worf receives the message from the starbase that Picard is close to death. The paklets seek to attack the Enterprise, but LaForge convinced the paklets to delay firing until a specific range. In response, the Enterprise generates a spectacular but harmless pyrotechnic display, and LaForge simultaneously disabled their weapon system. The paklets, convinced they have been defeated, back down and allow LaForge to return to the Enterprise to the and races to the starbase. Picard is dismayed upon waking up to find that Pulaski has completed his procedure. While Pulaski assured him she will keep his secret, he returns to the Enterprise bridge to applause, which he quickly silenced. Alright, welcome back, Amanda.
Hello.
How are you doing?
I'm good. I guess the time change thing is still a little confusing to some of us. The whole spring ahead fallback thing.
Yeah, it's still but it is weird. You are changing the times on a different time period than I do here in Europe.
Yeah, we're ahead by 1 hour instead of getting dark at 5. I guess the light stays until close to 8ish. I think it's still kind of light out around that. But when 10 o'clock hits during the summer, it's gonna stay light.
So today,
longer.
Yeah. So today we have a nice episode. I liked the episode. Although I did hate the paklets. I always hated the paklets.
Bunch of weirdos.
Yeah. I always used to call them potato face.
Potato face. Yeah, it kind of reminds me of that dude from Doctor Who. I forget his name, but they call him Mr. Potato Head because his head looks like a potato.
Yeah.
Yeah, they kind of do almost remind you of potatoes starting to get old. Packaged potatoes.
So we started with that the Enterprise is going to the system for a scientific mission, but we also see that Wesley Crusher has his Starfleet entrance exam.
Yep.
And I think this was the first time that we see him super nervous.
Oh yeah, he was nervous about taking it. I would be too if I had to take a test like that. Because it's not just like math; it's like everything you can think of being done in the exam.
Although I must say, Data had a very funny reply to that, because first Riker was, "Oh Wes, you will be okay, you got this, this and this," and then Data came between them and said, "Well sir, you have this, this and this and this and this," and Riker was saying, "Data, I just said that," and Data answered, "Well sir, not in that complete way that I did." He was very funny in this episode. He was almost like how a human would react, and we say it before and we say it again. It's always him reacting this human.
Yeah, basically he's like showing a bit of human to him there, even though he doesn't realize he's doing it. Type deal.
Exactly, yeah. And we have this scene with Picard and Pulaski, and Pulaski ordered him to go to Starbase 515 to get that heart surgery because it really needs doing.
Yeah, because apparently his old heart's going a little wearing down because of an incident that they mentioned in the episode that he had to get a fake heart because of I can't remember what they call these guys.
The Nausians.
Yeah, Nausians. I can't say it right. Big dudes. That's what I'm going to call them. Big dudes that stab him through the back with a blade, and which destroyed his real heart. So he had to get something that was like a fake, almost like a metal pacemaker type heart, and he had to go get it renewed, basically.
Yeah. But he didn't want that Pulaski did it, and even on the Enterprise, because he was, and that was really weird for me. Picard was very insecure about his image. That if the whole ship would knew it, that he would, that they will see him in a different light. So Picard was not happy with it because he was very looking forward to this mission. And even Riker was saying when Wesley and Picard were heading to Starbase 515, even Riker was saying, Data, wasn't Picard very anxious and curious about this and looking forward to this this mission?
Yep, he said that to him. And then Picard and Wesley's on the shuttlecraft there. I think they were on that craft for, 6 hours, they said?
Yeah, 6 hours. And that was, in one way, a little bit funny, because before he was preparing the shuttle, he came across LaForge and Gomez. And
oh, yeah, Gomez.
He was saying, what the hell do I have to talk with Captain Picard in 6 hours alone in a shuttle?
Yeah.
So Gomez was telling him, well, he likes this, he likes that, and you can learn a lot of him. So try to get the opportunity.
Yeah,
And
like talk about his interests.
Yeah. And Wesley, so Captain Picard was meeting them in the corridor, and Georgi was really surprised, and he was saying, well, Captain, this is a nice day for a trip out. Have fun. And I think a lot of people didn't they find it strange that Picard was heading to Starbase 515.
Because he wanted to see the thing go on, but he had to go listen to Doctor's order and go do his thing.
Yeah, he postponed that heart surgery long enough. So Wesley is starting up the whole procedures of flying the shuttle. And right away, when they were heading over, the Enterprise get a distress call of the packlet ship. And like I said before, I don't like the paklets. I really don't. And even in
little potatoes.
And even in Star Trek Online, I don't like them. They're really, really, really weird.
Especially in the episode, the way they talked was like, "We need things to work. We need this. We need that. We need to go fast." Like
it's like also they don't understand it, but they were smarter than they let on.
Yeah, they're smarter than they seem to be, of the way they were saying things. It's like, what? And Deanna knew right away something was wrong. She sensed something was wrong. While Geordi was over there, she's like, yeah, Geordi's in trouble big time.
Yeah, that was later on, because Riker was thinking, LaForge will not be in danger, so they are harmless. So, Riker said, okay, LaForge, beam over with the necessary equipment and help them. But it was Worf who didn't trust it, and he said, well, we don't have enough information, so don't let him go.
Yeah, even Worf was very, very hesitant about him. Even Worf figured they were up to no good. Because, they didn't have much info on those guys.
Yeah, and, it's just like, I don't know, I didn't trust it. It was weird, and how they talk as well. But then we come back to the scene that Wesley was trying to have small talk with Picard. And that is when he softened up and began to talk why he had to go to Starbase 515. And then he would tell Wesley a little bit more about his early days on the Academy. And I think the nice part of this one is that you see Picard totally in a different light. He is very self-critics about himself when he was younger. And that he said, I even was cocky and whatever else more. So, and I really love that scene when Picard was telling him about the fight with the Nauseous, and that he took 3 Nausean on himself, and Wesley was sitting on the edge of his chair.
Yeah, he's like, ooh, tell me more, I need more info.
Well, I think this is one of the first and not many times that we see a little bit more background of Picard. How he really was and what his story is. And of course, Wesley was in the beginning, he said, and Wesley said that himself, well, I think you would rather have Riker with you or someone else as a company because I'm just a child. And then, and I don't want to say I was shocked, but I was really thinking, ooh, Wesley, you are asking daring questions to Picard now, but like, didn't you want to have your own child? And, I directly was thinking, yeah, Star Trek Picard, and that he would have a half-brother with Jack, and that was in one way funny, but Wesley was asking really daring question like, why aren't you married, and didn't you want to have your own family, etc., etc., etc.
Yeah, those were pretty brave questions to ask him.
Yeah, but let me see in my notes. Yeah, and there was also a very, very moment that Wesley even dared to ask Picard, Captain, why don't you let Dr. Pulaski operate you? That's much easier. And Picard was saying, well, boy, I have my own reasons for that. So then they, and I don't know, Wesley wasn't happy with that answer, and there was some kind of a distance between them until Picard sat in the back and poured him a drink. And guys, I was really puzzled by this. Why the hell is Picard drinking coffee? He never drinks coffee.
Yeah, he's more of a Earl Grey tea hot kind of guy.
Yeah.
Which I drink sometimes too, which is good stuff. And my coffee.
So that was the real thing. We know Picard as a tea drinker, not as a coffee drinker.
Yeah.
So why the hell would he drink coffee?
Yeah, I thought that was a little unusual too, that he was going to be drinking some coffee. I was like, well, maybe he's drinking to help keep himself awake on the trip.
I don't know, but it was really, really weird.
Yeah.
I found it was really weird, and he was mentioning it to Wesley too. Anson, do you want some coffee? But I don't see Wesley drinking coffee.
Wesley don't seem that type, probably.
No! And he is just, what is his age, 15, 16?
Yeah, I think he's around the teenager age there.
Yeah.
At least 15 or 16. That'd be.
When I was also in that scene, how Wesley was acting and talking to Picard, he really, really did it at the kind of way of Beverly would do. It was so similar to Beverly. Didn't you notice that?
He's what?
That his way of asking the questions and talking to Picard is similar as that of Beverly in that scene.
Oh, okay. Yeah, I kind of noticed that a little bit. Like a very curious type thing.
I don't want to say curious, but it is more like I would say the doctor talks, like
okay, yeah.
be present but also in a soft way.
Oh, okay. Huh.
And, well, there was also in that scene, Wesley told Picard that it was a pity that he didn't have children because he would be a good father. And I was thinking, why would you even say that?
Yeah.
Maybe because he sees, of course he sees how Picard is with Beverly, but also like he sees Picard as a mentor. I don't know. I don't know what you guys think about this.
Yeah. But he would make a good dad though, and he is a good dick. He's got Jack.
Well, what I have seen with Jack is that he really is like that elderly father that give him advice and be, for instance, firstly his friend and mentor and then his father, because let's face it, guys, Picard doesn't know how to be a dad.
Yeah, because he never knew about Jack until then.
Yeah. And I was completely in honest with Beverly because she had good reason not to tell him. But okay, so we are going back to Georgi. And Georgi is done with the repairs, and there will be problem after problem. But when Riker asks LaForge back from the paklets, they deny it and they shoot at LaForge.
Yeah.
And this
looking.
And this happened about, I think, 3 times.
Yeah, they shot him a couple times there.
And the Enterprise couldn't beam him back because they put the shield on again. And
and apparently found out later that they've stolen stuff from other races.
Yeah, like the Romulans,
like
etc.
Yeah, like the Romulans and I don't remember the other races, but they've stolen quite a few things.
Yeah. Did you notice, by the way, that they use again the small phasers?
Yeah, the smaller ones.
And I don't know when they are going to use the bigger ones. I think that will be in season 3, right?
Maybe? I don't remember.
Or is that because after they made that one of the movies?
I think they did the seasons first, then they did the movies. Yeah, well, I don't know when the bigger guns are coming out, but they'll be out eventually, maybe season 3, I don't know.
There was one thing that I noticed as well. The chair of Diana Troy, and later also of Dr. Pulaski on the bridge, and also the captain's chair, I think that those are different chairs.
Oh. Yeah, it kind of look. I think the shape of it is a little different. And
yeah, but also the fabric on the chairs itself.
Yeah, maybe they had to swap out the chair. Maybe the chair broke during filming or something, and they had to swap it out. Maybe. Or somebody spilled something on it.
I don't know. Reminds me of that one episode of Enterprise that Trip and Malcolm were battling who has the better upgrade for Archer. But okay. So Wesley and Picard have arrived on Starbase 515, and Wesley told Picard, well, I really did like the trip, and thank you for the stories and the advice that you gave me. And Picard said, yeah, I enjoyed it as well. But I had the feeling and the noticing of that Picard, this was the first time we see Picard really care for Wesley and have an admiration for him.
Yeah. Like, he wasn't so standoffish with him. He actually listened to him. They actually talked with each other through the whole thing. And
yeah, because when we are looking at the episode Last Mission, this is the last mission that Wesley did with Picard before he went to the Starfleet Academy. I remember the end scene in there that Picard told him, and Picard was wounded. Picard told Wesley, you don't look as ship to shape for Starfleet Academy. And Wesley nudged down and said, well, you don't look as ship yourself, sir. And that is when Picard gave him a hand and said, Wesley, I always have a kind of love for you, and I always have admired you, and anything else more. And that was one of the things that I was thinking, maybe, because I always had said Beverly and Picard should have being a romantic couple.
I'm surprised they ended up together.
Yeah, but we have, of course, that
excuse me.
That episode. I thought it was an Inner Light or episode after that when we have those flashbacks. Picard has those flashbacks, and he had been married to Beverly. So that they actually acting on it in Star Trek Picard. Also, it even is 20 years later. In one way, it's really nice to see. And in the other hand, I would say they could have done more with it, because if we see to Picard's romantic involvement with women, there is not really that you can say, okay, there is a romance. And I would have seen so much more of that, I don't know if we gonna have that with in the Picard series still, but who knows?
Well, you never know.
The paklets were treating the Enterprise, and they will, if they don't give them what they want, they would shoot LaForge time after time after time. So Georgi tried to negotiate with Riker to do something, because they the paklets wanted to have photon torpedoes, etc. So Riker and the crew, and that was the funny part also again with Data, the crew talked in code to LaForge.
Yeah.
What was
all these mishmashes and stuff.
Yeah, and they all say some kind of a goodbye to them, and I don't know, but it was a weird thing of saying goodbye to someone. It's like Riker talked about sacrifices, and that LaForge would be sacrificed for a good cause in this way, but they had other intentions, and so then we go back to the Enterprise, and the Enterprise got a message from Starbase 515 that Picard's surgery was failing, and that that Picard was near dead. So I think did you saw the expression from the crew?
It was like, holy frick.
Yeah, but also not only that, and we see that in the at the end of the episode, is that when Picard came on the bridge again, everybody went clapping, and Picard was saying, don't be stupid, and it's not necessary to do that. So we are back on the ship of the packlet ship, And Georgi had readjust the weapons and that kind of thing. But this time, it was the Enterprise crew and Georgi to fool them. And
he's
so...
a little sneaky on them.
But also like... I can't remember what it is called, but it was some kind of a... cloudy thingy that is putting the whole paklet ship down in the way of nothing is working.
Yeah, I forget what it was. I forget what they called it. Oh, jeez. There was a name they gave it, but yeah, it screwed up the paklet ship, but stuff started not working again.
Yeah, and it was really, I don't know what do you think about the paklets?
They're weird. It's like they talk in broken language. Like they're like, what the heck are they saying? It's like reminds that episode, like not Taranga. That dude that spoke in broken language with Picard on the planet there. That's what they kind of remind me of, but a little more demanding. They're basically acting like little toddlers with a demanding attitude.
Yeah.
Basically. Like, oh. And they got like excited when something new happened. They're like, we want that.
Make us strong.
Yeah. Get us moving. Like, what?
So, that was the point also that Georgi could beam back to the Enterprise. And the paklets finish with, you are smarter than us. And I was thinking, dude, if you were just doing normally, then they would share technology with you or whatever, you know?
Yeah. These guys are just crazy. They basically kidnapped LaForge, made him do stuff, zap him a few times, and they're stealing stuff from other races.
Yeah. So Georgi, Georgi is back on the Enterprise, and Riker said to the helm, I think it was warp 9 or warp 7 that he said, we have to go to Starbase as soon as possible because Pulaski said, I need to go, I need to be there. And she was the one who saved Picard's life. And oh my god, that was so funny, that scene when Picard woke up and he saw her face and immediately he knew, oh shoot, she did the operation, you know? She did the surgery. Like, he was so not happy.
No. Well, they had the original people that did it. They tried, and someone else apparently came in and tried. Now they had to have Pulaski come in and do it. And she was able to do it.
Yeah, but because Pulaski was an expert in it.
Yeah.
And the two... Oh my god, those two... He was so grumpy. And the only thing she did is smiling and said, you're welcome. I'm here. I will keep it a secret for the whole crew. And Picard was saying, oh shit, if you are here, excuse my language, if you are here, then the whole crew knows.
Yeah.
And then she said, well, you will be released from the anesthesia room within 4 hours. And so...
released 4 hours later.
Yeah, and Picard came back on the Enterprise. He got a standing ovation of the bridge crew and he said, I don't want that. Screw that. And then he told them, well, Wesley has passed his exams and he can continue his work on the Enterprise till there is a spot available. And, yeah, guys, this is also the end of the episode.
No.
Amanda, do you still want to add something?
Can't really think of anything I wanted to add, except they could have made the episode a little longer. I don't know if it was just me or you, but it seemed a little short.
What I experienced is that they didn't go into detail. It was like the headlines, storyline, and that was it.
Yeah. That's basically it. They just told the story and about it. They didn't give like a big detailed history about the paklets.
Yeah, but I mean also totally of the story with Picard or that is more, I think that is more important than the packlet itself, because we don't see that much of the paklets.
Yeah, that's true.
But I do think it would be nice to see a little bit more between the interactions between Picard and Wesley.
Yeah.
Because also
there are a few episodes. I know there's a few episodes coming up with him and Picard.
Yeah, but also his father Jack was Picard's best friend. Why don't they talk about that a bit? Because we don't see that often. The background of Picard.
Yeah. Wasn't there an episode where the kid becomes an orphan when his mom gets killed? They talk about Jack and how Wesley felt towards Picard.
Yeah,
there was that episode.
That was that episode, but there was also another episode that what was that one? I can't remember what it's called. But it was that and there was that episode that the boy's name was Jono, but he was I think he was I don't want to say kidnapped, but he was taken away from. He was a human, and I think they become Lucari. I can't remember if it's the Lucari, but what I want to say about between him and Wesley, most of the time we see Picard as the captain and the diplomat of the whole being of Starfleet. We never see him a little bit talking about his passions and his family life, and like I said, it would be nice to hear some more stories between Jack Crusher and Picard.
Yeah.
And, for example, how Picard and Beverly become a romantic couple. But, okay, so, guys, I'm really and I said that already on Twitter, the rating of this episode by IMDb is very low. It's a 6.5.
Ooh, that is low.
And yeah, for my taste, it is too low. I would say I will give it an 8.
Yeah, I'll agree with you on that one. I'd say 8 also.
They could have done more with it.
Yeah.
But okay, so guys, this was the episode recap. Give us some feedback what you think about the episode we just recapped, because we really like to talk with you about those episodes, and give us your opinion.
Yeah, comment. We want to hear from y'all.
Yeah, well, thank you for listening.
Yeah.
And we talk to you in about 2 weeks again with a new episode recap.
Yeah, see you guys in 2 weeks.
Thank you for joining me again, Amanda.
Yeah.
And live long and prosper to you all.
Live long and prosper.
Dear listeners, thank you for listening, and join us in 2 weeks for a new episode recap. In the next episode, we will recap the episode Up the Long Ladder. I also like to tell you about my other podcast called Orinda Talks. Orinda Talks is a podcast in I talk about books, movies, fandoms, and other geek things. You can find Orinda Talks on the YouTube channel or the Facebook group. We will see you in 2 weeks.